Welcome back. Adobe terminating its $20 billion merger with the design software maker Figma. Let's head out west to Deirdre Bosa for the details in today's Tech Check. Deirdre?
Hey, Kelly. So that deal was scrapped as regulators. They raised concerns about it eliminating competition, removing Figma as a threat to Adobe. But a lot has happened over the last 15 months, and the landscape, it now looks a lot different. Namely, there has been the massive generative AI platform shift, a movement which Adobe has largely met so far and been a part of. Shares are up more than 60% since that deal with Figma was announced. Firefly, its generative AI product, and meanwhile, it has continued to develop Adobe Express, a real-time collaboration tool that does some of what Figma was supposed to do for the company. So Adobe's going to be okay, and it could even do an expanded buyback as a consolation prize for Wall Street. Figma, though, still a private company, maybe more of an open question. We know less about its last 15 months. This is a Silicon Valley software design darling, and the price tag that Adobe was willing to pay for it led to no shortage of sticker shock. $20 billion, what Adobe was willing to pay. That was double Figma's valuation at the time, and 50 times its annual recurring revenue. Figma is unlikely to get that from someone else, especially after so much regulatory scrutiny. But Adobe's billion-dollar breakup fee to Figma, that could be seen as the equivalent of a pretty good funding round, allowing it to go on the offense, as a Figma board member put it to me earlier today. Now, the company, Figma, has been releasing its own AI plugins, and earlier this year it acquired Diagram, a startup building at the intersection of design and AI. More broadly, though, Kelly, there is this frustration here in the Valley over the failure of this deal. One investor I spoke to called the process long, opaque, and Byzantine. And with the IPO market still uncertain heading into 2024, this wasn't a great sign for the M&A market, another type of exit for the VCs after a pretty hard few years.
I'm surprised. I wonder if there was something in that meeting that they reportedly had with the DOJ a couple days ago that they thought there was no path forward. But after some of the wins that companies have had in court, this felt like it was important enough to Adobe that they'd want to stick with it.
Right. It kind of makes what Microsoft was able to do, right, with Activision Blizzard, biggest deal of the last few years, all the more astounding. But when you think about a big tech company looking perhaps at a software company or any company, really, and thinking about all the scrutiny they have to go through, this perhaps puts a chill on that.
All right, Deirdre, thank you very much. For now, we appreciate it.